Welcome everyone, good evening. My name is Michelle Ong, and I was the one that had the privilege of leading the forum this weekend to your friends and family. And I want to welcome the various groups of people that are here this evening. So firstly, if you were on the forum this weekend and this is your final session, can you please raise your hand so we can welcome you? Welcome back. And if you were a graduate of a previous forum and you're here this evening with us, can you please raise your hand so we can welcome you? And then lastly, if you're a guest this evening, you haven't done the Landmark Forum, and you're here this evening with us, can you please raise your hand so we can give you a very warm welcome? And thank you for being here with us. I'm very excited about this evening. We have various intentions for you. And if you were in the course this weekend, the intention we have for you is that you get to powerfully complete your Landmark Forum this evening. And part of that, the aspects of completing powerfully is that, look, you got your friends and family here with you, and you have an opportunity to share with them, to contribute and make a difference. And then also, after tonight, you're going to be going out in the world, back into your life. And many of you have taken on some new, new commitments, new, expanded yourself in certain areas of your life. And we're committed that you leave here with a powerful relationship to breakdowns, so that when you're out there in life and, sometimes you're going to fall on your face and not get the results you want, that you can get right back up, being in action, realizing those results that are important to you. So that's a very important aspect of your powerfully completing, so that you're out in life and, you're not getting stopped. And to our guests this evening, you have an opportunity to participate also in that breakdown technology, so that you can, in whatever area you want to have a breakthrough in, you want to have a breakthrough in taking new actions and not getting stopped, that this could make a difference for you as you go out and take actions and realize whatever's important to you as well. So we're inviting you to participate with us in that last aspect of the forum. And then for our guests this evening, there are various other intentions we have for you. One of the opportunities for you tonight is that you get to see how the Landmark Forum works, right? What the Landmark Forum's about, how it works, and the difference it makes for other people, people who participate, and how this could apply to you in your life and what you're up to. And there's also an opportunity for you this evening, if you choose, to register yourself into the Landmark Forum. So, that's the intentions of this evening. And then I want to, just ask, how many of you, some of you as guests, may have heard a lot about the Landmark Forum. How many of you came here and you heard a lot? Okay. And some of you may have, just heard a little bit about the Landmark Forum. How many of you heard just a little bit? Okay. And then some of you might be, you heard your friends share, and you're actually curious about how this could make a difference for you. How many of you are curious? Okay. And then at the same time, some of you might be skeptical. How many of you are actually skeptical? Yeah. Well, however you are right now is fine. It's all perfect. And now the opportunity is, I'm going to start with a short video that's going to introduce you to Landmark, give you a sense of our work and what we do around the world, the different kind of offerings we have, and how this has made a difference for people at the level of individual, the difference is made for families, and all the way to organizations. So here we go. So this gives you a greater sense of why your friends and family invited you here this evening, and how the work could make a difference for you personally. And I want to set you up powerfully to participate here this evening. I really appreciate that, this is your time. And so the most powerful way for you to participate this evening will be for you to listen to the different kind of results that people have accomplished and produced while being in the forum. And also listening for, you know, from those kind of results, what could be possible for you and what you could accomplish. Now, you listening for those kind of results and listening for what could be possible for you is not how we ordinarily listen. How we all often listen is from us judging and assessing, right? What's happening. You know, some of it you may hear, this might be familiar to you, okay? You might be hearing, you know, what they're sharing is, yeah, it makes sense, but I don't know if it really applies to me. Or maybe, you know, judging whether I agree or disagree with what's being said. Sometimes another way we listen is from evaluating and analyzing what's being said. Like, you know, how could someone get a breakthrough in 3.5 days? It just doesn't make sense. You know? Or, you know, another thing could be, you know, I've never seen that ever happen. In 20 years of my life, you're telling me, you know, really I could have a breakthrough in that? And another way we also listen is, you know, listening to it, like, and comparing it to something we know. Like, yeah, you know, I've read that book before. It sounds similar to that book. Or you might be saying, you know, I went to something similar about, you know, similar course like this about 20 years ago. Now, consider that you listening, right? Us listening from judging, assessing, evaluating is just going on naturally there while, you know, people are sharing and talking this evening. So I just want to stop to see if you can hear that little voice in your head that's chattering right now, in fact, and it never shuts up. And it's often talking to us about what we think we hear, but then gets in the way of you being able to actually hear something new this evening. So let's just stop for a minute to see if you can actually hear that little voice in your head. Now, some of you, the little voice in your head said, that's kind of weird. How many of you had that voice that said, that's kind of weird? Yeah, or like, when is she going to talk again?
Yeah.
Maybe some of you were saying, like, what voice in my head? I don't have a voice in my head. That's the voice I'm talking about. So if you can hear that voice in your head this evening, that voice is always talking. And while I'm talking to you, what happens is that we end up getting distracted in listening to what we think we're hearing because we're listening to the voice in our head talking, as opposed to actually listening to what's being said. So how I'm inviting you to listen so that you get the most out of this evening is for you to listen beyond that voice in your head this evening and listen for what's possible. Maybe listen for what would move, touch, and inspire you. And also listen for, you know, if I had that kind of breakthrough, Dennis, what difference would that make for me in my life? And I promise you, if you listen in that way, you'll hear something amazing and new tonight. So just pause.